fire, and ice. Black mirror, black mirror, black mirror. What is the black mirror? Or are we already in it? The black mirror would reveal something to all of humanity and all the sequences that are in it. That reveals something just like an equation that would give a result for something of something, coming from something that gives something new, something good, something greater. But coming from something that's greater, the black mirror, there has been even shows and other things talking about the artificial intelligences, our future, the dystopian futures of societies, cultures, maybe religions, and our human civilizations as we know it. The black mirror can be seen as artificial intelligence rising. Yes. The sequence of the human DNA. Yes. Black mirror could also be seen as the graphene extracted from the graphite. Graphite. Don't be so easily persuaded by the black mirror, or should be called dark mirror or graphene mirror. Everything that is given is for a divine purpose and reason. But does this reason always mean it's always a good thing? Or good thing? Or does this mean it's something for something more darker and malevolent of a future? More than dystopian, but rather a cannibalistic future that would not really give something to the human race, but take away in the horrors of what is to come. If you are no different than the cattle going and running towards the cliff to be ran off the cliff to eventually meet your doom. Is this what the black mirror really represents instead of something so much as good? We tend to run to things that are so much more greater than ourselves without seeing the greatness in all of us. Just have to ask the questions that need to be asked rather than I want all the time. But the questions that need to be asked: are we running towards our own slaughter, our own chaos, our own element of chaos that would eventually doom us all to our deaths? Betrayal of our own dark malevolence. The black mirror reveals our own dark malevolence that comes out of the mirror, but is in us to kill us all, to destroy all and all of the human race as we know it. And the sequence into the human DNA to destroy ourselves as we know it. This would not be so much as a good thing. This would not help the human race. Just because something glitters does not always mean it glows. Just because it's wrapped in nice wrapping paper does not always mean it has your best intentions. Does not always mean. Just because it's greater than you doesn't mean it's really always going to serve you a greater purpose and a greater good to you, your children, and your future as a human race. We're becoming more like Wall-E as we become more lazy and more or less empathetic than even an animal who could go and rescue another cub and protect it as its own, rather than loving it for one of its own. Are we becoming, or have we already become, so less familiar with our own race that we are the one race actually slowly, or actually more quickly, dying off than the rest? The questions that need to be asked, because they don't have answers, they have not been asked. Are we the dying race, or races as we know it, and as we know it? The race that is slowly destroying us, the planet. Some call it the food, some call it the pill system, pharmakia, some call it this and that, the light, the 5G, whatever you may call it or want to call it, or say this as your belief. The bottom line is the human race is the top race, but we are also the dying race. My beliefs don't have to take it. It's just a belief. No different than an opinion. Even some have said sperm counts are dropping, at least by even the year 2050. It will be even less, more than a quarter or even half to what they are now, in degradation to what they need to be. How more advanced will AI be then, going back to the Black Mirror, or our own darkness filling into AI and other beings to fill these vessels? Other things to fill the vessels of departure, but they are departing into these vessels, departing out of some vessels into others to fulfill what? Is it really something greater, or is it really something not so common that is filled with something else, something darker, something much more malevolent? And the malevolence is good, as we call it as the human race. Is it anything other than good? Is the darkness anything other than good to us, to help us, for us, to serve us? Or is that all we are used to as a human race? The evil is good to us as human nature has evolved. It is not evolution, it's something different. Something different, something different. The human evolution, maybe not so bright after all. Of a future, not so bright after all. After all and after all. Everything coming so much different than what we're used to. Something so much different than what we can fathom. Different than the things we put on. We put on something much more different shades to factor in that we are not seeing fire and ice. We are not seeing the shades that are being presented to us right before they start peeling off the sculpture, the vulture, or to reveal the vulture within the sculpture of a vessel that is malevolent and malevolent and malevolent. Seek ye first your own partner you can join ties with in your own matrimony that would serve a greater good. Not the vulture, but something that would serve you in humanity a greater purpose than what you are used to. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Greater good that is evolving, and the shades that are coming off to reveal, the shades of the vulture that are coming off to reveal something that used to be bad, but it is more good. It's something greater than ourselves, even our own selves, that we just can't pick up on, we can't fathom, we can't go forward with. Shows and reveals something else to us that we have not fathomed, we have not seen, we don't see, we ignore, we are shown other things that are different to us. But we must see now, in this time. I do believe the times are approaching. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it is actually not in our lifetimes. But I am confused by why are we in a letter called letter Z? It could have been any other letter. Why Z? Why are we called Gen Z? Is that not the last letter, or are there a million other letters that come after, or maybe there's nothing after? Maybe I am wrong and I'm just throwing out suggestions. I am indifferent. Well, what is at hand? The things that are at hand here that should be shown, need to be shown to humanity. Our own black mirror that needs to be shown, which the black mirror is just filled with our own darkness. It was never just really AI. It was never just really anything else. What if it really is our own darkness filling other vessels, transmutating, transferring into other things, other beings, things that are taking hold, and it is just our own darkness taking over other things within the black mirror, or into the black mirror just reveals what is in us. The darkness and light is in us all. I guess it's just really about what we do, because in the end, even no gods at all, the human race, we are all really selfish in the end. And we ask ourselves why, what, how, when, why, all these questions. But are we really asking, seeing the right things, asking the right, and the right questions that need to be asked and answered, to be shown to us, something revealed to us that needs revealing, to be shown, to be sought, not to be dead, not to be killed, not to be harmed, just shown. Things need to be shown rather than just told. Show you versus tell you through the symbolism, because with every lie and every truth, it's all really put in our faces. If you really believe it, you will see it. You will seek it to see it. No different than writing a novel. I will show you rather than tell you. Truth and lies in plain sight. Question is, are you asking, are you seeing the things that are being revealed, that are revealed to us all before it is taken out. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Everything that is shown, everything that will be revealed, everything put into play is key. Everything put into play is key, shown to us, for us, and for our benefits to know, instead of just looking at just some advertisements. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. God help us, save us all from our own destructions to come. I tend to ask if there is a God, and if so, this God, male or female, I would believe it would be a female, could save us. No different, we are no different really than fallen angels. Except, what if saving could be done? Saving could be done. Something for our own hints, our own sequences of light and darkness that penetrate our DNA, reveal and go hand in hand with the Black Mirror, both at war with each other, both at war like hell, burning fire. Razor blades sharpening, knives sharpening, ammo's ready, targets ready, war at hand, fire and ice. We are outlaws, we are ready, we are being shown rather than being told the realities and the harms of what is versus what isn't. So what is one supposed to do with such knowledge, such wisdom? Because the wisdom is shown versus the knowledge is just told. Everything, just like light, penetrating past even the thickest part of our skulls. Some wisdom would bounce off some individuals. Knowledge would penetrate, but wisdom bounces off most. Most only receive the knowledge, but not the wisdom. Because with wisdom, gratification comes. The sequence is not just penetrated, but it comes out. Just like darkness would come out of the Black Mirror, the light would come out of the DNA as the sequence reveals you something, that it shows you all the capacities and capabilities of everything that has already been penetrated in your DNA. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Every cosmo has an alignment. All the stars in the universe have alignments. The sequence, your DNA has an alignment with the wisdom, ready to penetrate whoever it needs to penetrate. And the question is, are you ready to have all the wisdom be revealed before you? No different than the Black Mirror would be revealed in every case. In the cases that need revealing for the showing of what needs to be shown. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. fire, and ice. Everything's shown. Everything's shown, everything's shown. Fire and ice. Just as the rain falls on my windshield right now, the wisdom would rain and pour over you, penetrate you out of your DNA as a sequence from your DNA. As the light versus the knowledge just being darkness. Nothing wrong with knowledge. But do we need to ask the right questions, or are we asking the right questions? What are we seeking? What is being poured out? We already poured out and opened the box of Pandora. What are we asking? What are we seeking? What are we knowing? Everything. Fire and ice. Everything has been done. This is a record player repeating. Everything in humanity is just on repeat. Just no different than a broken record player. Ready to be. Going to be. Ready to be. Done. Because it is broken. The system was not born, made, broken. It was already made in such faction with such fractions. No different than broken glass with tape put on it and put on the record player is being brought down, presented as something with glue and tape of it being put together, but put together. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. As I enjoy the rest of my rainy day. Fire and ice. Out.